Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Wow, look at this guy. To AQT with MITCHY STEEZ. I don't know if it's going to be called that for a couple different reasons moving forward. One being that Antony always tries to change the name, and we have conversations about it. He agrees to something and then tries to go back on it, which is, I'm learning, pretty much his MO in general. Number two is that he is publicly talking about firing me, getting rid of me.
You're on the chopping block.
So, I don't really understand where his logic is coming from. I have a 1/3 stakeholdership in the company right now. Although I post more blogs than him, I'm on every single show. All I don't do is post drunken Instagram stories about nothing. So welcome to the show. We got a lot to get into. I came up with every single topic, of course, and Antony said he was just going to riff. We are 12 minutes late starting this show.
No, I've been on 5
he
a.m.
was hammering Miller Lights last night.
I don't drink Miller Lite. Miller Lite's gross.
Otherwise incoherent this morning.
Miller Lite's gross. I don't drink Miller Lite. They're not a friend of the show.
We're going to start off with...
I'm a company man. I'm a company man, Mitch. Let's start off by saying that. I'm a company man. And...
No, you're a you, man. You're all about you.
I'm a company.
You say the company.
That is correct.
Just care about yourself.
No, yes, that is very correct. I'm a company man, and I'm the best blogger that's ever lived. And let's riff.
All right, good stuff. Good stuff. So, college basketball, we have March Madness coming up. If you, in case you missed it on Antony's story, really well-timed video, and I mean that, sincerely. Most of his videos are absolute trash, but this one was good. The waning moments of Syracuse and Virginia. Basically, Antony took Syracuse money line. I'm assuming because he was with Lenny Jets, it's a Syracuse fan, and he bet completely.
No,
with
I bet
in not logic at all. He also, folks, if you're wondering what a phone conversation sounds like between the two of us, this is it. Like I'll literally just go
speak for myself
and let him talk. I'm not done talking yet. Anyway, I was talking about the video. And it was timed out perfect. In case you missed it, Virginia knocked down a buzzer-beating 3 to rip Antony's heart out. Syracuse is now firmly on the bubble. And what I noticed most out of that final 30 seconds is that one of Virginia's players got bumped out at the top of the key, a little foul on the floor. And when I say Lenny Jets tried in 5 different ways to explain to Antony that it was just a foul on the floor and it was okay and they weren't going to get any points out of it, I mean, it was incredible. He asked if it was a change of possession.
Yes.
After Virginia's guard was just, fouled, basically a slap on the wrist if you didn't actually see the game. So he knows absolutely nothing. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of conviction, though, in whatever he says next. So, Antony, go ahead and start with what you were so excited about, which is telling us why you bet on Syracuse, which no one really cares about. It was a throwaway comment I made. And then give us your breakdown for the bracketology. What do you expect to see in the tournament? Who are a couple of teams you like?
Let me ask you this, Mitchie. I'm going to rebuttal with attacking you because that's my MO. How many NBA Top Shots do you own?
0.
I'm a bigger basketball fan than you, you bum. You stinking bum. Anyways, college basketball. I bet on Syracuse. I'm gonna give you a little bopperoo on this. Syracuse, pretty good basketball team, but they're a bunch of goddamn frauds. They're a bunch of goddamn frauds, Mitchie. Buddy Boeheim is actually pretty good. I like that kid. He's a good kid. My buddy, number one superfan, B-Flan, he's I can tell stories about him. But Buddy Boeheim, good kid. I like Syracuse. They beat up on the who they beat up on the day before. I took a -2 against some
NC State.
NC State, yeah, -2.5. But they beat up on it. They killed them. I thought, so when I saw they were going up against Virginia, I saw the money line plus 195. Boom, let's jump on it. So, but no, I mean, it was a good basketball game. It was just rough. Bracketology wise, though, I think Syracuse might take it all the way. That being said, I got to ride with my boys in West Virginia. WVU. It's all about the U. I like WVU in the bracketology, Mitchie. I'm a big basketball fan. Actually, I am getting better at basketball by the day. I will say that. I'm learning a lot. I know this means this is a travel, so I know I'm learning the difference between an offensive foul and a defensive foul. They're shooting fouls, but to be fair, heat of the moment, Mitchy. I didn't see the foul in the Syracuse game. I have to defend myself from that aspect.
Okay, great. So the two teams that you like in bracketology are West Virginia, that you just picked when we randomly looked at the rankings that one day.
No,
and then Syracuse, because they were the last team that you could think of. You know that Syracuse, I think that they will get in the tournament, but you know they're at like a 50-50 chance of even getting in the tournament. You just took them as a dark horse to win it all.
Yeah, dark horse to win it all. I like that Buddy Boeheim guy. Even though his dad is a notorious murderer, killed a guy. I'm not sure if you knew that. I like to see.
Yeah, I've heard you say that on social media like 7 different times.
Killed a guy.
Yeah, maybe tread carefully because the way that you're putting that is it was a pretty sad situation.
Yeah, a man died. I'm not making light of that, Mitchy. I don't know why you would insinuate that.
All right. Well, I like West Virginia as well. Obviously up at the top with Gonzaga, Baylor, Michigan. Those are some very, very good teams. Would not be surprised to see any of them go all the way. Hot take, but conference tournament week is just awesome. I know, Antony, you've grown up with basketball and, just the pageantry around the NCAA conference tournament week. Yeah. It is just so great to have it back. Now I say that hours before UC has actually played a game in this. And if we lose today, I'm going to be back on the I hate basketball train. But all week, to wake up, I completely forgot. Games just start at in some cases, 11 a.m.
all day.
And then they're going all day long. And you got, 18 to 19-year-old kids, determining the fate of the program that you root for. And sometimes it's great and sometimes it's absolutely trash. But this is the time last year when it was all ripped away from us. Cincinnati had a much better team last year, so that hurt a lot more than it would if that type of thing happened this year. What are your thoughts on Duke? All right. So Coach K has been, some would say, known for kind of, we'll just say, picking and choosing times that, he makes excuses for the program. There's been times where they're not doing well and all of a sudden his back hurts and he's not able to coach the next game and things like that. Duke, not a good season. Their best player or top rated player leaves for the draft. Most people watching would know this, but I know that you don't. He opts out of the season. So they look like they had nothing. They start playing well, but then they were about to play number 15 Florida State. All of a sudden, somebody got COVID. They have to cancel the season. Thoughts on that?
Well, why do you think I'm wearing the mask? I'm trying to protect myself and all my grandmas. All right, so grow up first and foremost. Now, that being said, I'm a big Duke fan. All right, I'm also a Syracuse fan, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Concurrently, I like both teams. I think Duke, they're a bunch of bumps. All right. That being said, COVID is a very serious disease, Mitchy. It's got a very high mortality rate. If you get it, there's basically a 100% chance you're going to die. So I understand why they canceled the game because one person potentially had it. That being said, isn't that kind of crazy that they're just completely out of the tourney at this point? Aren't they just done? Both teams are done?
Not both teams, just Duke.
Oh, I thought Lenny said FSU was out of it as well.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so. No, they would have talked to me. No, that's not
okay. I don't know. So Duke is completely out of it though, 100% done.
100% done because they would have to quarantine and blah blah blah. They wouldn't be able to play by next week. Number one, with the COVID protocols, they also would have had to continue winning to even get in the tournament. They needed to win.
No, that's a good point. That sounds like, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like something I would do. Fake a COVID right before a big game because I know I'm gonna lose. That's how I would operate. So I respect Duke for that, but I don't know. You can't make insinuations there, Mitchy. Come on.
Yes, you can. It's exactly what it is. It's an insinuation. I'm not saying it's a fact. Here's the thing. What? It was so perfect for them because they weren't good really all year. If you rewind back to earlier in the season when you're hey, I know nothing about college basketball. Duke and Miami. Yeah, Duke. Duke's going to win.
It's all about the U. It's all about the U, Mitchy.
No, I'm like, dude, Miami might win this game outright. I'm definitely taking them plus 11.5. Remember that game? Miami won by like 6.
It was 11. It wasn't 11.
Whatever. Anyway, they weren't good all year. They lose that guy. And then they're finally playing. They had a couple good games in a row. So that takes away from people that would say, like, that's their defense. Why would we want to make this up? We just beat Louisville by 15. We're playing great. It's like, because you knew Florida State was going to smack you, put an end to the run, and that was going to, and they were 24 years in a row of going to the NCAA tournament. That is done. By the way, yeah, I know you don't read any of my blogs, but they're one of the 4 teams.
Why do you keep starting your sentences with "I know you don't"? I know you. Come on, man. Come on, break. I mean, yeah, you know, I read every single blog you put out, word for word.
I'm going off things you tell me. You told me last night that you wanted to fire me based on the content of my
conversation.
I only talk about Cincinnati.
What are you talking about? The fans? Last night I was in bed by 7 o'clock, sipping a cup of hot Earl Grey tea. Reading some Bible verses. All right. I certainly wasn't gambling until 3 a.m. on online roulette. By the way, I'm up a big. So that conversation never took place. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was going to say at this point because you just cut me off and derailed it.
Well, that's your fault in the first part. All right. So as soon as you admit that, that's when we move past it. Anyways, college basketball.
Hey, a dark horse team, although it's not really because they're a blue blood type. They've always been around. North Carolina. North Carolina's got a bunch of freshmen and sophomores that average between 9 and 12 points a game that are all kind of gelling together right now. I watched them last night and they looked very good. Handily, I mean, they only won by like 7, but Virginia Tech's a good team and they just were in control the entire time. Virginia Tech would try to, they'd try to, punch back and then boom, boom, 2 straight buckets for North Carolina. They're pretty good. I think they're up to 18 wins, I think. And they were being lumped in at the beginning of the year with UK, who's out of the tournament, by the way, Duke, who's out of the tournament, bad seasons, right? And it's like, oh, UNC, Duke, they all suck. UNC doesn't. They're catching stride, so they could be good. Oh, yeah.
No. Lenny just asked me, what is the NC State and North Carolina? Those are 2 different teams, right?
So we were talking last night about NBA basketball, right? That can't be a serious question.
Well, I mean, there's similar sounding teams as well.
North Carolina and North Carolina State.
Well, NC State, and then
it's literally is Michigan and Michigan State. Is that the same school?
Then he has a follow-up question: are Michigan State and Michigan the same schools? Anyways, NBA, man. Let's get to NBA.
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to say, last night hit a 3-legger, my man. Hit a 3-legger with me and. By the way, Lenny, I gotta give him props. Lenny gave me the inspiration for it. We were kind of like in the middle of the.
Wait, let me guess the team. Can I guess the teams? That'll be fun.
Yeah, they were late games.
Late games out west.
This is
the Suns.
Fine lines. We'll talk about fine lines.
Suns.
Intro. Yeah, Suns.
Okay, you said they're late.
If you'd watched our 3-hour live stream last night, Mitchy, you'd know.
Sacramento. Kings.
Kings.
Spurs.
Clippers.
Damn it. I actually looked at it. I actually just looked at it. I couldn't remember who the third one was. I saw you took a bunch of good odd money lines.
Yeah, pretty much we just looked at. Oh, yeah, by the way, Mitchy, have you ever heard of a sports book by the name of Fine Line Sports by chance?
I haven't. All I use, it's all I recommend to my friends. Although I'm going to get fired because none of my friends are going.
Well, it's all I recommend to my friends. I mean, I'm the one. I sign up a bunch of people.
But if they're mutual friends and they like both of us and they like comment on stuff saying we want more Mitchy, it doesn't matter. It's all Antony Paisan.
Well, hypothetically, if someone just comments, hey, you should go comment on this one post and that's it, and then and a bunch of people are like, oh, Mitchy's the best, and I don't think that counts as it's neither here nor there.
What do you think Barstool was known for a long, long time? their fans, being able to stick their fans on people.
I'm giving them free advertising, man.
They got in trouble for weaponizing social media. I didn't even do anything. I get off the airplane, I see 38 notifications of everyone saying, "Oh, Mitchy's awesome. Antony sucks."
Come on, man. Like, if they want to advertise on our space, they can. Stop giving Barstool all this free advertising, man. Come on. Anyways, Fine Line Sports, Mitchy. Before I got rudely interrupted, let's do a little ad read, huh? Fine Line Sports, only sportsbook I use, right? I got 10 numbers for you, Mitch. You know what those 10 numbers are? 201-503-4151. Text those numbers, and you can set up an account and gamble like we do, right? Give guy, his name's Davey Fine Lines, right? Reputable guy, good kid. Give him your money. I don't know, give him a couple $100. I started with 200. I think you started with what? 100, 120, 150?
What? Yeah.
Something like that. Give a guy a couple bucks. When you mention the Lenny special, Mitchy, you can get 21% free play on all of your initial deposit. Now, that being said, I also get the Lenny special on literally every deposit I give him because I keep giving him money because I'm not good at gambling, right? You mentioned the Lenny special, 21% free play. Guess what that means, bub? You give him $1,000, you're getting $210 in free play. No rollover, Mitchy. You bet that once, it's good as cash. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, whatever you want. You get it. No barriers between your money. Guess what, Mitchy? He's got live sports. He's got a full-blown sports book. He's got an online casino. I would recommend turning that off, Mitchy. I'm not good at the casino, except I am. And then also horse racing, which I'm afraid to click on, but I'll probably burn $1,000 on at some point in the near foreseeable future. Anyways, that's Fine Line Sports. But any commentary on such an incredible sponsor, friend of the show?
Yeah, it's a blast. The casino, in full disclosure, is dangerous, but it is a lot of fun. It really is a lot of fun. There's a bunch of different routes you can go. You got blackjack, you got a bunch of different games. I forget the Keno. Is that what it is?
The Keno's
roulette. So those are good if you're you're feeling a little frisky and there's no games on. But this time of the year, ladies and gents, sign up. It's about to get wild over the next about 2 to 3 weeks. And I mean, between NBA and a million college basketball games every day, it's going to be a lot of fun. Davey Fine Lines, 100% legit guy. Love that guy. I've already cashed out once, which is one more time than my bookie would ever let me cash out. Because this guy's actually legit. I even was worried, you text this number? Guys, it could not be easier. You text that number to sign up with Davey Fine Lines, and he just takes care of you the rest of the way. I swear, every other time that I log into my account, I'm like, I'm going to actually bet the money that I had in my account, and I'm like, oh, there's $40 of free play. Oh, there's $25 of free play. Oh, how about that? The guy's just giving away money. Oh, I don't know the business model, but it's absolutely amazing. Do you guys like how Antony said, let's do an ad read, talk for a minute and a half? And he's like, Mitchy, what are your commentary? I talked for 20 seconds and he brings in Lenny.
No, he walked in. All right. Now, that being said, we got a free ad read testimonial, customer testimonial. Testimonial. Give him the goods. Come on.
Dude, on your birthday, tell David it's your birthday, he'll give you $20 to play.
He did say that. This fucking guy. Every time he does this, it's like a girl walking away in an argument every time. He has such a feminine energy about him, huh?
I know.
Anyways,
text him on your birthday.
Text him on your birthday.
Text him on your birthday. You get a little free play.
$20 free play. $20 free play, Mitchy. When's your birthday, Mitchy?
Thanks to Lenny Jets over here.
May 25th.
It's
I heard
$20.
I heard on a podcast the other day. I forget who it was. It's a funny guy, but they were talking about birthdays, and he's like, I don't like people to know what my birthday is.
It's a weird.
Is that a weird?
I don't know. Well, I mean,
I even paused for a moment because I remember hearing that. Isn't that a weird thing to care if people know when you're? I guess what he was saying was he was a little more well known, and he doesn't want like a billion people reaching out to him on his birthday.
Oh,
I do. Never mind. I take it back.
Take it back. Anyway, and NBA is better than college basketball, Mitchy. I've said it once. I've said it a million times. The players are better. They're bigger. They're stronger. They're blacker. They're better at basketball, Mitchy. College basketball stinks, and an underrated difference is in college basketball when you shoot and you hit the rim, it goes ding. It makes that weird clanking sound. I don't like that sound. In the NBA, it's like dong. It's like a higher quality rim, Mitchy, and that's because they're in higher quality stadiums. And I like college. I like football. That being said, I love the Phoenix Suns. Me and Lenny, we had no money last night, and also we're degenerates. So we were like, hey, let's pick a game we know nothing about. The Suns are favored to win by 4.5. Let's put hundreds of dollars on their money line, -190. Didn't have a lead once in the entire game, Mitchy, until like the last 5 minutes. Then they won by 10. What a game, an exhilarating victory. Anyway, hit a 3-leg parlay last night. Not a bad day yesterday whatsoever. I like NBA.
Yeah, guys in the NBA really do not miss. The reason why I texted you about that last night, and I know you were clueless, you had no idea what I was talking about, even though you were watching. I think I'll give you a break here. You were watching the same game I was, but simultaneously watching like 4 other games. But the Brooklyn Nets and the Celtics.
Yeah.
I think there was a point where it was like, I don't know, call it 196, and then it was 110 to 106, and nobody had missed a shot in that time.
Yeah.
I mean, now granted, there's some layups in there, but they still had to take it in and finish around the rim. They're hitting threes, turnaround jumper. I mean, everything. I know it's not like a little known fact, but when you really just sit down and watch, I watched probably 80% of that game because it was really the only thing on. I mean, they're unbelievable. And also, James Harden, I'm becoming more and more of a fan. He's just so much fun to watch. I know people rag on him, rightfully so. There's things people don't like about him. The guy is so unbelievably good. Nobody else plays like him either. Like I can never predict what he's about to do. I felt like when he was in Houston, it was a little more of just through the leg, step back 3, like all the time. Now he still does that, but he's just way more of a facilitator, and like they got to run double teams at him. I know you don't watch the game this way. All you do is look at the numbers and say,
no,
is this good for my bet?
You know what, Mitchy? When you're trying to effectively communicate, you can't make assumptions about the other person. You know why? Because it makes you look like an ass. I know about the double teams. I know James Harden. I know Dame Lillard. It's Dame time, right? I know that guy, when he goes into the paint, he pulls in 4 defenders. That's why he's so good, because he gets all those assists. He shoots it out deep and he gets the threes, right? Come on. I know basketball, Mitchy. I'm a lifelong basketball guy. That being said,
you didn't know what it meant to be fouled on the floor.
Well, it was a quick moment. It was a moment in time, and I was looking at Lenny. I was like, hey, any commentary? Oh, there's a foul. What was that? Is that a change of possession? What happened? He's like, no, it was an on-the-floor foul. Okay, what happened? Does that mean they get the ball back? He's like, no, it's just a simple little bop, bop, bop. I'm learning, Mitchy. Come on. Wait, when the first time you got on a bicycle with training wheels, did your dad just punch you in the teeth and say, hey, you stink?
No, the first time I got on a bicycle, I wasn't a lifelong cyclist.
Yeah, but...
You just said you're a lifelong basketball fan.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
yeah,
hey,
I own NBA Top Shots. I'm an owner of Top Shots, okay? I own a Bojan Bogdanovic layup and a Mike Conley layup. Let me see if I can sell them for $69.
Dribble that shit, boy.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, follow me at Antony Paisan on Instagram. ANTONYPAI.
He's gonna get 3 shots now.
It was outside the 3-point line, Mitchy.
Is that just a turnover then?
I mean, come on, man. He told you, like, he said.
I was in a hysteria. I was excited.
Okay, you could have used context clues. He's a Syracuse fan. He's like, yes, it was a foul, but thank God. And then you're doing what you always do, which is cut people off. And you're like, but he's shooting a 3. And he's like, no, he's on the ground. He was fine. You're like, what was it? So it was a turnover? I mean, dude, it was great content. It was awesome. It was way better than you thinking out 2 different names on the Celtics and then switching around their names. Oh, Jalen Smart, Marcus Brown.
Okay, to be fair.
I'll call you on that, bub. It's funny when you actually don't know things. It's not funny when it's obvious that you did that on purpose.
I didn't know you were a psychoanalyst, Mitchy. Where'd you go to school? Did you go
well,
to school?
I wasn't going to psychoanalyze it. I had an extra 6 minutes this morning when I was waiting for you to wake up and start.
I've been on since 5 a.m., Mitch. You've been on since 5 a.m. I was manifesting my success this morning. And
all right, everybody can go back and watch the first couple minutes and see. And you tell me.
It was a workout. It was a workout.
You tell us. Comment below on the YouTubes if you think that guy in the first 5 minutes of the show looks like someone that was manifesting his success for the previous 3 hours.
You can not see his body. I'm fucking shredded. Okay, I was doing push-ups. I'm sorry, push-aways. I was doing push-aways and pull-ups all fucking morning. Speaking of which, we didn't even do the combine, Mitchy. All right. I was so busy being successful in Miami, and you were on drugs or something. I don't know. 'Cause, you and Lenny went into a drug den and got high on drugs.
Don't you guys love this? This is his go-to. When he gets mad at somebody, you really are whatever free advertising. You are a little mini Portnoy because I've watched so much.
Stop
I've
talking
watched
about that.
so much of them. I've watched so much of them, and you just naturally are. It's really hilarious. When he gets backed into a corner, he's like, "It wasn't my fault. The other guys were, I don't know, they were doing crack or something."
Yeah.
You're always going to the drug angle. I don't know why.
Well, it's because you're a drug addict, Mitchy. The first part of having a problem is to admit that you have a problem. Anyway, let's talk about why we didn't do the combine. And by we, I mean you. Let's go. Let's jump on. It's one of our topics this morning. Let's jump into it, huh? First of all, how was Miami? I'm still in Miami. I own this city. I'm gonna live here forever.
Okay, cool. So it was a lot of fun. I actually made the spontaneous decision to stay an extra day. Now bear with me here. So it was a company trip, and if you know anything about me, I'm big time planner guy. This and this. My flight's here. I can't move it. Whatever. Last minute, decided to change the flight, stay an extra day. Best decision I made. It was such a fun trip. Now I will add in the caveat that Mr. Paisan and Lenny, they took it a step further, and they've been there for, I don't even know, like a couple months at this point. No, they've been there for what, a full week. But Miami, absolutely awesome. The weather was great every day. It rained one night, but like going into that day, we were talking about possibly, I don't know, sitting around playing poker on the computer. Nady and I were like, because it's going to be raining all day. It was 78 and sunny, till 5 p.m.? I mean, it was just perfect. Right, we were riding bikes through. I've never been there before, so yeah, a lot of fun. The Miami Heat bet. Miami Heat bet. We got to get to that. I gotta fall on the sword here. So
I'm fucking rich. I'm fucking rich, Mitchy.
Just so you guys know, everything he won off the Miami Heat bet is that's not it. He lost that already.
No, I won it back, and way more. I still hold a majority piece of that winnings. I did lose a little bit though because we put like 500 on the Blues. Fuck the Blues, by the way. Anyways, continue. Yeah.
So from my perspective here, I like to throw a little money on the games here and there, and I mean that literally. I like to throw a little money on the games here and there. These clowns want to start off an incentive trip with the company by putting $1,000 on a whim on the Miami Heat money line against the Pelicans, just because we're in Miami. And I get it's a great story. It's so much fun. Whatever. I'm the party pooper, whatever you're gonna say, but I'm not putting $1,000 on anything. I don't care who. I'm not putting $1,000 on a 1 seed to beat a 16. Yeah, it's just not going to happen. I'm not betting that much money. If I lose that, I will be like, I'm such an idiot. Why did I do that? Right before the game. So I fade these guys. I bet $100 on the Pelicans. And I stand by that bet because it was real. Minutes later, Zion Williamson's out, right? And there was reports that Jimmy Butler might be out. And that's I told these guys when they started in the group chat, I'm like, what if something random happens on a Friday night in the regular season in the NBA and Jimmy Butler sits out, for example? They had already placed the bet, and then there's rumors Butler might be out. I'm like, oh my God, I got it. Pelicans. And the Pelicans are a better team overall, in my opinion. I like Miami. I like a lot. They're probably pretty even. Game was in New Orleans. Anyway, it was really close. It really was down the stretch, but the Heat pulled it out. And guess who did hit all the big shots? Jimmy Butler. So congrats to those guys. They won $1,000. Great story for them. And they have me as like an added part of that story. And our buddy tried to fade us and we get to shove it in his face. Whatever. Say whatever you want there. But it was an absolute blast to watch Paisan out at this Mexican restaurant where we were watching the game. He's just hunched over, dancing like this. With people dancing around him, just looking up at the game. Just locked into the game, and it was cool. So there was that, and then do you have any commentary on the?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for telling the entire story, Mitchy, for sure. Here's the thing. I'm a winner. All right, and we know what winners do, Mitchy.
Let me cut you off. What am I supposed to do when you ask me for commentary on a situation other than tell what happened?
Give me an alley-oop. You gotta set
You're
me
literally
up.
the worst.
You gotta set me up. Give me a little alley-oop. I'll slam it home. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. I'll keep that in mind next time.
You're just wrong about all of it. All right. We had
Mhm.
placed our money on that bet. All right, because it started off at plus 135 on the plane Heat money line. Right. And guess what? That was because Bam Odolapo or Bam out of Bio or whatever. He was supposed to be out, and so was Jimmy Butler. So I was waiting a little bit, and I was like, oh, what do we do? What do we do? And Petey Gonzalez, our good friend Petey, what he did, he was like, hey, we got the news that Jimmy was going to play, but Bam was going to be out. So we were like, you know what? Actually, no, we placed the bet before we knew Jimmy was going to play. But then we found out Jimmy was going to play. We're getting drunk at the reception. And by the way, it was an incentive trip for the #1 superfan Beefland. I just went along and tagged along. Obviously, you were on incentive trip. Beefland, yeah. I just happened to be in Miami. And then guess what? We're at this reception. Then we get the news that Zion's out. But Mitchy, you broke the cardinal fucking sin. That's not a little deal. That's not a little deal. Like, oh, you fade against the boy. No, dude, you're not there's laws to being a degenerate. In betting against the boys, when the boys have $3,000 in the pool on a Heat money line game, you bet against the boys. That's a fucking treasonous act. That's that's murder. All right, that's not a little deal, Mitchy. All right, and the whole point is this, man. What's a grand? Now, that being said, we're not here to unit shame. We're not here to unit shame. And obviously bet responsibly. Call 1-800-GAMBLER if you got a problem, Mitchy, right? Which it sounds like you do. Because, I mean, I'm not making any assumptions, but, anyways, it was a fun little trip. And yeah, I don't dance like this. All right. I had mamis. I had all sorts of chincantas and froyololas. They were grinding up on me. They were trying to get up in this business because they see a white gringo who's rich as fuck. Did you not see this earlier, Mitchy? I'm fucking loaded. All right. Anyways, I dance like a goddamn champion, especially when I'm drunk and on drugs, which I was. And I was watching this game and we were doing a lot of fun stuff. And the Heat fucking won. And Zion stinks. And the Heat are a better team. And I'm going to buy me a Jimmy Butler, Miami Vice 22 jersey. All right. Because that man is the reason why we won. Miami was a lot of fun, though, for sure. Yeah. Well, it's still fun. I'm still here. I might live here forever.
I think it's okay for me to make a decision that I think a different team than my friends is going to win.
It's the code of the degenerate, Mitchy, and this is why I go back and forth. You're not a degenerate to your core. You're not a scumbag. You're not a piece of shit. Come on, man. You gotta let the head.
Yeah, there's a little balance. You're right. I'm not. I think the fans, if they've watched
it's so called the next gen degens. It's the next gen degens. We started the show doing degenerates +3. Degenerate is
next gen degens. So maybe I'm bringing a new flavor, a new brand.
That is it a kitty flavor?
Part degenerate, part not.
Is it a poopy flavored flavor? Is it a poopy? Is it a diarrhea flavor, man? Anyways, Miami's fun. I like the city. I might fucking actually move here though. It's
also, I wanted to tell these guys about the St. Louis Blues. So let me just say, we're at this restaurant and Paisan is in. We're at two big tables, like 10 feet away from each other, and Paisan is on a different level, and their table just starts cracking up laughing. And then a few of us are looking over at them, and Paisan just turns around and says, "You fucking wish." Like we wish we could be over at his table. That was the start of that night. And then they all bet $500 on the St. Louis Blues. And I was literally sitting there. I was pulling for you guys because I didn't fade this one. I did it one time. It wasn't like, I was just like, I was feeling a little good. Had some of the wine at the reception. I was like, this would be fun. I'll go, but I won't do it again. All right. Anyway, with the hockey game, I was pulling for them. But then as it was 3-0 Blues right out of the gate. And I'm like, are they just going to keep winning these massive bets? Like, how is this happening 2 times in a row? No. It didn't. 3-1, 3-2, 3-3, 4-3. So they lost in overtime. And then let's fast forward a little bit. We went to a different place, and Paisan gets the news that they lost and trots his way over to this little couch shoves this poor girl off of her seat and then lays down on the couch. And I told Cheska, I said, hey, it looks like he's sad. I'm going to go over and try to console him. Right. So this is the part of me, Bub, that is no, I'm not a full blown degen, but I take pride in that because I actually have a heart. So I went over, I was like, let's see how he's doing. I sit down next to him and the seat that I sat on was like soaking wet. And I'm like, oh my gosh, my shorts are all wet now. Whatever. How we doing, Bub? And I checked in with him for a second. And then obviously my shorts are wet. And then you guys might know what happens next, because once Paisan got his energy back and was like, oh, it's no big deal, I'm over the bet, he made a video from behind me that was really disturbing, making fun of my shorts being wet, which only happened because I was coming over to see how he's doing. Fast forward about a week later, guy's trying to fire me. So that's the full Miami update. But hey, great.
Your butt was wet. Your butt was wet.
A lot of fun.
Your butt was wet, and I had to put my finger in it to make it look like a funny video. I had to do that. All right. I do appreciate that was primo Antony energy though.
See, that's the difference though. When you were laying down, I could have come up and made a video being like, hey, where's your $500? And then been like, I had to do that. I had to humiliate you.
Yeah, that would have been good content. That would have been
great content.
Funny.
That's the thing. Whatever. You're the brand.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you gotta have a heart and care about your fellow brethren.
To be fair, I wasn't actually upset because I'm rich as fuck. What is $500? I don't care about $500.
Yeah, it's nothing. You're right. Yeah.
But I went over and I laid down. That cracked me up though a little bit. I just walked over to this fucking couch. This girl's sitting there on her phone, and I was like, she was sitting in a chair across from the couch, right, on a patio couch. I just didn't even say any words. I just referenced like, are you using this couch? He's like, yeah, like my friends are about to be here. And I go, cool. And I just fucking lay down on the couch, taking up all of it with my you know what I did too? I put my little feet over the edge of the couch. So taking up all the couch. My favorite part of that night, I think, Mitchy, is, you're right, you do fucking wish. But my favorite part of that night, by the way, went to a hookah place, right? Hookah's pretty cool. I like it. What's more fun than sitting around a bunch of people that probably have mouth disease and just sucking on a fucking hose, right? That doesn't even get you high. That's so much fun. Anyways, I had a fake, we had a little camera, one of those little Kodak, no free shout outs. We did a little Kodak, little twist and spin, click, old school 90s. Oh, shout out Kodak. And I was like, hey, watch this. This will be funny as fuck. I go over, I'm like, hey guys, taking a picture. And what do you guys do? You all fucking get up. I'm like, no, move in a little bit. Everyone's standing up. They put their food down. They put their drinks down. They're like, oh, Anthony's going to take a little picture. And I'm like, I can see Petey, just a little bit more. I'm scooching everyone in as tight as fucking sardines. And I just go, yeah, it looks good to me. Thanks, guys. And I just didn't take the picture, Mitchy. All-time classic prankster move. What do you say?
Mm-hmm. I will say,
Very good.
All shticks aside, it was very funny. Nobody thought he actually took a picture. We all thought he was going to, because who in their right mind is like, hey, let me get a group picture, and actually has like old school camera and doesn't take it. But like those things, you can tell when someone takes the picture or not. And we're all like, he's like, oh, looks good. And everybody, even 4 or 5 drinks deep, was like, you didn't take the picture. And you're like,
That's the Antony.
So that was exactly what happened. But it was fun. It was fun.
That was
you know what, man? I'd say 99.9% of the things you do are laugh out loud funny. And everybody loves you, and you're the greatest.
Well, I'm not clapping for myself because I know that. It's like saying the sky is blue, the water is wet.
Except you had a visceral reaction where you're like, wait.
Well, you talked well about me. You stroked my ego, right? To match on my event. By the way, can we move on with the show, man? It's dragging a little bit over here. Let's also talk more about me as well.
Yeah, let's talk about that one topic that you brought up, that you came up with from last night.
Remember, wait. Can I fart on our YouTube channel? Is that appropriate, you think?
I think we'd all probably prefer not.
You know, it will have to chamber. I don't have one in the chamber anyway, so let's move on. Anyways, Miami's a hoot and a holler, Mitchie. I will say that. I could tell all sorts of other stories, but for legal reasons, I probably shouldn't. Let's move on. What else do you want to talk about, Mitchie? We talked about basketball, professional. Oh, you hear about Deshaun Watson?
What happened?
He's on the trade block, potentially. He wants out. Texans want to keep him in.
Wow.
Button heads.
Kind of button heads.
Button heads, Mitchy.
I saw the Texans just picked up Mark Ingram. You think that makes him stay, or where would be like the top 2 or 3 teams that you think Deshaun would go to?
Before I would have said maybe like the Colts, but at this point, I think the Bears are going to get Russell. I really do. I think they might. I don't know. I think Russell might stay, but I think it's like at this point like a 50-50. I think Russell might actually go to the Bears, which would make a lot of people happy. I think at this point, the Panthers have been clearing a lot of cap space. For what, Mitchy? For what? I think it's going to be the Panthers. Maybe the 49ers. Seems like the 49ers are going to move Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think the Dolphins do it. That being said, if they do, I will. I'm not going to jump off the balcony. I'm afraid of heights, Mitchy. I wouldn't do that. But I may. I'm trying to think here. What's something funny that would not kill me? I would take 27 Flintstone vitamins, Mitchy. That's what I would fuck. I would eat a whole bottle of Flintstone vitamin because it's like a double entendre, right? Whatever. Anyways, I don't think they're going to do it. I like Tua Tagovailoa. I just bought a fucking jersey the other day because I'm rich and the Heat made me a bunch of money. I think Watson goes to the 49ers or to the Panthers, though, Mitchy.
Awesome. I'm inclined to agree with you there. I think it's no disrespect to Mark Ingram. I think he's had a really solid career. Excellent college football player. Was a very good NFL player, but
yeah. So everything you just said means nothing now. Gotcha.
Right. This is like, Deshaun Watson's got to just be like, okay. You guys got rid of everybody that was really good. Now you're going to bring in someone that's like on the back end of his career as a running back. Like, how about somebody I can throw the ball to? Maybe one good receiver. We did have maybe the best one in the NFL. Remember, you got rid of him because you couldn't get along with him. Whatever, dude. He's gone. But yeah, that I would really like, and I know Cheska would love this. It'd be great to see for Cheska and her family. I would love it if Russell went to the Bears, though. I just think it's fun to picture that. I can't really see the appeal on his end. There must be something just that he's just sick of in Seattle in terms of like coaching or players. He's not gonna. I don't know what it is, but like, you know what I mean? Like, why would you logically leave that situation? Not saying that they're like stacked up as a roster, but they're in just as good of a spot, if not better, if not a lot better than the Bears, right? I don't know.
I think the Seahawks have gotten. We're hearing all these stories about him storming out of meetings, and they don't want to involve him in the offensive game plan. And name one fucking offensive lineman that he's had since 2012. I just don't think.
Can you even fathom? Can you fathom as a Dolphins fan, you have a guy as good as Russell Wilson, and then you hear that they don't want to. He should be the only thing that matters.
That'd be the one thing. If they had a stellar offense, stellar defense, absolute great coaching, but they were like, hey, come on, stay on your side of the fence, big boy. We're gonna do our thing over here. Like, we don't want, like, that'd be like a deal breaker if he was on the 72 Dolphins. Like, that's just a lack of fucking respect, Mitchy, huh?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing with Russ. I actually want to go back on it of why he'd want to go there. The Bears were what, 8-8. I think they started 5-1. Maybe he's looking at that. Like, they do have a lot of pieces on their defense for sure. And maybe he's looking at it like, okay, they got a couple young receivers. They just franchise tagged Allen Robinson, who's a stud. Darnell Mooney is was a rookie receiver that I really like. They love Montgomery. And maybe he's looking at that like, okay, these guys were 8-8. They were in the playoffs, and the quarterback play was atrocious. He's like, I feel like they could instantly be 12-4 just with Russell Wilson. I would love to see a Bears team, just the little guy fight back. I would love to see a Bears team with Russell Wilson going into Lambeau Field and see what that looks like, right? When they need it. Because I think that's been their issue. They just can't really, they haven't been able to score with Aaron Rodgers when it matters. But who have their quarterbacks been? The best one was Jay Cutler since Rodgers has been there. So
I think it's one of those tricky situations though, where if the Bears trade for Russell, they're going to have a 2-year window before they immediately start going 1-15 again. Because they gave away the fucking book for Khalil Mack. That defense is pretty goddamn stout still, Mitchie. I tell you what. But they gave away the book for Khalil Mack. It ain't gonna be cheap to get Russell. I mean, that's 2 to 3 firsts and a min, right? That's a tricky sitch, Mitchie. It's a tricky sitch indeed.
What would you take if you're Seattle to get rid of him?
I mean, what else? What does Seattle have in their quarterback room?
They don't have Carlos Dunlap anymore.
Yeah,
Carlos Dunlap is. I'm so disappointed. I know that whatever he wouldn't care what a lot of fans or any fans think, but I loved him. He really was a solid player for the Bengals for a long time. But dude, do you know what? So did you read that post? And do you know what he did? Do you remember what he did when he left the Bengals?
I saw it on like Twitter. He was. Well, I don't know if that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. He posted. First of all, he posted the depth chart for the Bengals before a game, like from the locker room. Like that's like a rule you don't break. He showed the other team basically the game plan, and he posted it because he's like, I'm not starting, and he posted the depth chart, and it's like, dude, what? And then the way we found out he wanted out was not through a press conference or whatever, and he put his apartment up on Twitter, like, oh, like I'm getting out of this and selling it. Like, what a BS move. And then he leaves, or he gets released from Seattle, and his Instagram post is literally like, he calls himself Damn Dunlap, and he's like, Damn Dunlap, released for doing what I was told to do when I came here. It's like, are you 12? Like, good God. Anyway, they don't have Dunlap anymore, but they don't need him because he was for sure on the back end of his career. However, they don't have anything when you really think about it. Who Tyler Lockett? Well, they have Lockett and Metcalf. I do like them. But I don't know. The defense was terrible for most of the year, right?
Yeah, I don't know, Mitchie. I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be refreshing. I think it'd be fun. But I mean, if I'm the Seahawks, I mean, this is a quarterback-driven league. I mean, what Bears pick it probably. The Bears even have a first rounder this year?
I have no idea. Let's look.
Oh man, I mean, I'd want Mitch Trubisky or something back in return because I don't think the Seahawks have jack shit. But I mean, I would need.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like, could you imagine?
I need 3 firsts at a minimum. But I don't know if the Bears even have, because the Bears, I mean, they might be picking at what, like 12, 13, which I can't relate to because we have the number 3 pick, obviously, and the number 18 pick. And I think number 26 as well. No, I don't know. 18, 30, 36. I think it's 36. I don't know. By the way, I hit black 33 a couple times last night, Mitchie. If you check the story, I conquered the beast.
Yeah, I did see that. Great job. Did you see Patrick Ewing upset?
He's like, what the fuck? My name's on the building here, bro. You should know me because know this face, bro.
Yeah, that's what he said. Anyway, I think he's obviously got a point, but I was just thinking about it, like, because I saw that was one of the headlines on ESPN again. Like those security guards, how old do we think they are? Like, I never saw Patrick Ewing play. It's like, give the guys a break, man. You won. They never saw you play. They would know who you are, but like, I don't know. You should know him, but you also look way older now, and they're just doing their job. And they, you know what I mean? It's not like your former coach is like, who are you? Show me some identification. I don't know. I didn't see what actually happened, obviously.
He's an old head. He's an old
head. He just wants to, it's like, calm down, dude. Like, I just think that's where you just have so much money that you don't even know what to get mad about anymore. So now you're mad that like the place you played basketball at, that from the city that paid you millions of dollars, doesn't have security guards that are willing to, massage your feet as soon as you walk in. So I feel like it's like, I don't know. They made a big story out of it. It was a funny little clip for sure, but Chicago Bears do not have a first round pick.
I'm not there. Russell staying in Seattle.
That solely because of that?
I mean, what are they going to do? They're going to get
No, they do. I stand corrected. They do. They're at number 20. Seattle does not have a first round pick, so that would be your answer.
You know what, Mitchie? I take that back. The only way I could see, I might be wrong here, which I probably am. Which actually I probably am never wrong. The only way I could see Russ going to Chicago at this point, I want to see a 3 or 4 team mega blockbuster trade. I think that could happen because I know Seattle would want one of those earlier quarterbacks. They'd want a Zach Wilson. They'd want a a Mac Jones. They'd want a Justin Fields or whatever, right? Maybe they do like a 3-way trade or a 4-way trade or whatever. Or maybe they get like a not a Prescott, but who's another quarterback on the chopping block right now in the active NFL? Like, maybe there's some sort of Deshaun involvement there, or Jimmy Garoppolo involvement there, right? Maybe it's like a Bears, 49ers, Seahawks 3-way, right? A little menage a trois. But I could see it, but I don't know. You want to do a little bet now? I bet $1. I think he's gonna get traded. I'm gonna bet you $1 Mitchie stays on the Seahawks. You want action?
I was just gonna say, if we're gonna do a little, if we're gonna have a little fun with it, we should both come up with a scenario that's more fun than like, because I agree with you. Like, I think him staying would be like -500 right now.
All right, I don't think I think it'd be like minus
250?
225 is what I'd say. How about that? I'm gonna gamble. I'm gonna put $1 here. If neither of the scenarios happen, neither of us make money. I'm gonna put $1 that there's going to be a 3 to 4 plus. All right, so I'm giving myself an out. 3 to 4 plus mega block superstar crazy trade. All right, that's my scenario. I think that's out there. I think that's tough to predict.
You need to make it like remotely specific.
I think 3 to 4 teams or more are going to come together and trade a shitload of players and picks in a mega trade, which I don't think is actually going to happen. But I want $1, Mitchie. I want $1.
I really like your Watson, Wilson, Garoppolo, and those all being part of the picture. I don't think that's too far fetched.
Marcus Mariota. There's a lot of
So, yeah, I got maybe Marcus Mariota too. I do actually kind of like.
Patriots. I might get in on some action. I think Patriots trade for a quarterback.
Can I look at the freaking second round?
No,
Why can't I look at this?
What are you watching? Those bums at CBS Sports, their website? No free shoutouts, by the way. They're a bunch of bums.
No, ESPN only shows the first round. So the Seahawks don't have anything. The 49ers have pick number 12. If you know what, I don't think this is like even in the, or he's even like brought this up or said he would go there, right? That wasn't one of the possibles, but like talk about sticking it to the Seahawks if he really wants to. If he wanted to go to the 49ers, they would immediately win that division, I feel like. Like, I mean, right?
Yeah.
Because they were like they were not great, to say the least, but like Shanahan's a really good coach. And yeah, I think he would get Russell Wilson to the playoffs.
That's sacrilege, Mitchie. I mean,
Russell Wilson would get them.
When Richard Sherman went to the 49ers, man, I felt gross about that as a Dolphins fan looking. If Russell Wilson went to the 49ers, oh, there's hell to pay, Mitchie. There's hell to pay, I tell you what.
Yeah, I don't see that happening though. Yeah, this will be an interesting draft for sure.
This will be an everlasting love.
Anyway, here's I think Deshaun to the 49ers. I think Jimmy G back to New England. I think Russell Wilson to the Bears.
And I think one Raiders quarterback to the Seahawks, if that does happen.
Okay. So and then the Seahawks end up with Mariota and a bunch of picks from the Bears.
Shit, dude. Yeah, I don't know. It could get real sloppy though, Mitch. It could get real sloppy.
Either way, no matter what happens, if you're a Seahawks fan, it's just like, I don't care what we're getting. You let this guy go. I would just be so unbelievably angry.
All I know is I like Tua. I don't want Deshaun. We got a fuckload of draft capital. We got a bunch of cap space, Mitchie. I'm the cap guy. I'm the cap space guy. All right. We got a bunch of cap space. We got a bunch of draft capital. We got an up and coming quarterback. I just bought a jersey. I don't know if I can return it at this point. So I don't want Deshaun Watson. All right. I think he's a good guy. I want to keep Tua Tagovailoa. Build around the
That's okay. I didn't actually ever bring up that thought of you guys getting him. So you're okay. You're okay.
Bringing it up.
So you guys have the 3rd pick, and then you have the 18th pick, and then you have the what? So then you'd have what, 35 then?
I thought we had 26.
In the 2nd round?
I think
Huh? 36?
35.
I mean, dude, You guys can get 3 of the top 40 best available players. I mean, that's a pretty solid draft.
Plus, dude, we just released Kyle Van Noy too. So I mean, we're freeing up space, bub.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of a shocking cut. Not really though. Dude, Coach B-Flow, he does not fuck around. Coach B-Flow is a goddamn savage. He's an animal.
Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
pick.
Any update on your co-offensive coordinators?
I still don't think that's gonna work. But in Coach B-Flow, we trust, Mitchie. That's all I have to say about that. The guy's got a pulse on the organization, just like I have a pulse on my organization here at the Next Gen of Gens, because I'm the founder of the Next Gen of Gens. If you're a fan of the show, comment below whether or not we should have Mitchie killed, maybe murdered, send men to his house, kill him. What are your thoughts? Not obviously premeditated happenstance, but comment below if you want the kid dead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I've tried to be, a positive beacon of light for the show. So, and I put that in the comments when everybody came to my defense. Thank you so much. I love you guys. And I'm all about positivity. And the thing is, of course, I don't want to be fired, but I think that if I do get fired, it will be for the right reasons. It will be because the fans just have decided that the show is better to move ahead without me and 50% of the blogs. And if that's the case, I will gladly step away. I'll focus. I'll go back into my corner and just do play-by-play announcing and live a happy life, because I know that I did what was right by the fans. So whatever you guys decide is totally fine with me. Of course, I hope you decide that I can stay.
Here's the thing, Mitchie. That Instagram post was a bunch of bullshit, Mitchie. You know how many of those people are going to comment on this video saying, "Oh, we love Mitchie"? Approximately fucking 0 of them, Mitchie. You know why? Because someone.
No one comments on them?
Well, also that. But because someone has put something in a group chat somewhere, and look at this. All of a sudden, we got 19 people saying, "Oh, Mitchie's the best." I agree with Marie and Lizzie or whatever. By the way, we got 2 new bloggers, Mitchie. I don't know if you heard the news. Bailey Stevens, aka Getting Baked with Bailey. Basically, she's just going to get high and cook. Seems like pretty fun concept. Well, I tell you what, though. She made a little 3-cheese tortellini in Miami the night before she left. Some Texas toast. Let me tell you what, Bob. That's kill for. Incredible.
They were all in Vegas, and B Swizzy, as we know her, made some buffalo chicken type thing that was apparently to die for. So yeah, you folks are in for quite the cookbook.
Oh, and also Jiz Lons. Apparently, she's just going to talk about how to suck cock and be confident or something too. I don't know. Sex stuff. I could care. I think I'm going to fire her within 2.5 weeks. I put a poll up there. I said over under 2.5. 90% of the votes came in as under. I will say this though, Mitchie. I proofread her first blog, gave her a few tips because I am a master blogger. I'm better than you at blogging. I'm better than everyone. I have to be the best blogger in the organization. How else am I supposed to teach people, right? Come on. But
right, you're really good at it. You're really good.
I appreciate that. Well, I don't even have to appreciate it because it's just factual statement. Anyway, I proofread Jiz Lons. Get it? Jizz. Sex. Haha. She's gonna be talking about all sorts of sex stuff. Not really my cup of tea, but maybe we might get a little female demographic in Mitchie. Huh? What do you think?
I mean, I already approved this on the trip.
Nice.
I don't know why you're even asking me what I think. I thought you were going to just fire me.
Talk them up. Reciprocal edification. You talk them up, they'll talk you up. What are your thoughts? Be like, oh, Bailey's great. Jizz is great. They're going to be great bloggers. Come on. Throw them a bone.
Literally I added on a personal anecdote
Yeah.
of B Swizzy and Baked with Bailey and her cooking and how you're going to have a great cookbook. I don't have much to add on Jizlon's, her subject material, right? That particular subject, I don't have much to add, but I know she'll do a great job at it. That's her forte, right? Just like I wouldn't expect her, if she was on this show, to be like, oh yeah, let me tell you why Mitch is so great at talking about Bearcats basketball. She doesn't know anything about that. Same thing with me.
Wait, you don't know anything
but she's going to do a great job.
You don't know anything about that, Mitchie? Huh?
Nope, nothing.
What is that anyway, Mitchie? Tell the fans at home. What is this?
Looks like your fingers.
Looks like a DNA ribosome. You know what they call this? I don't know. I don't know what they call that. I was putting my fingers together.
I'm sure there'll be a blog about it from Jizz here soon.
I've got a great blog coming up, by the way, Mitchie. I'm not going to spoil it, but it's pretty fucking good. And it's going to be a lot better. How about you put out some good I'm a company man, Mitch. I'm a company man. But I'm going to challenge you, Mitchy. I'm going to challenge you. Have your next blog be non-Bearcat related. I challenge you, Mitchy. Take the hard route. If you take the easy route, your life's going to be hard. You take the hard route, your life's going to become easy. All right, a little personal growth. Take the road less traveled. All right, take the road less traveled. Write a blog on ice cream. Write a blog on something that's not related to anything you've blogged about before. Step outside your comfort zone. Grow as a person. Thoughts?
Yeah, here are my thoughts, guys. If anyone's keeping track at home, there have been 36 blogs published on our site, ngdgens.com. Go check it out. 36 blogs have been published. 17 of them are yours truly's. We have one from Bailey. And so Antony has posted 18. I have posted 17. He has 2/3 of the company income, and I have 1/3. Yet somehow I'm not doing enough. And I'm on every show. I was the one that spurred this show even into action because I called him last night. There's zero chance we were gonna do it. Called him last night. Said, hey, we're gonna do it. He's like, yeah. Just make sure you call me. Make sure you call me. He doesn't wake up in time, and he's just trashing me. So here's the deal. No, I'm not going to say that because that's a big part of my brand. That is my brand, is Cincinnati sports. I don't know what you're talking about. So I've had, we talked about this last night. I've had other blogs that were not about Cincinnati, but here's another one that I forgot about. App Antony, will he wake up? We have AQT with Mitchy Steeez, the dawning of a new era. I wrote a whole blog about how the show is going to be restructured and why it was going to be called AQT with Mitchy Steeez. Then you turned around the next episode and refused to call it that. Then we had, is Mitchy becoming unstoppable in gambling? We had, I hate blackjack. And we had, what on earth are the Miami Dolphins doing? So 12 of my blogs have been sports related. One of those, Cincinnati, got the most views that we've had on the entire site ever. Okay. And then the other 5 were not Cincinnati sports related.
Hey, is this
so shove it. Shove it. Shove it. Shove it.
He doesn't blog. Hey, Mitch, let me ask you this. When Steve Baum or whatever that guy, who created Apple? When Steve Jobs created Apple. Yeah, Steve Baum. Baum settler, huh? When I've posted one less blog than Anthony, so I deserve more equity in the. Do you think equity gets shared because of blogging? No, it does. It gets shared based on who created the foundation of the company, Mitchy. How many times have you posted a YouTube video to the channel? How many times have you set up? I'm the one that created the blog. I'm the one that created Degenerates Plus 3. I created the entire Next Gen of Gens network. I brought it to you fellas. Like, hey, let's do a fun little thing here. I do everything. You write a blog. I should pay you as a blogger, Mitchy. And by that, it means $0 because we don't pay our bloggers here. But, dude, we might pay our bloggers here soon. Start making some big money, huh?
Wait, I think your connection's unstable.
No, he's doing the stupid thing again where he's like, oh, you're connected.
Yeah, I got a hard stop here in about 30 seconds. You want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm a company man, Mitchy.
Yeah, good for you.
He's cracking up over there, huh? Anyways, good episode, Mitchy. You gonna share this with your friends? I didn't even swear this much in this episode, so this is shareable. I think I made a couple racial remarks. Nothing anti-Semitic to my knowledge. Not like that Jewish hater Oscar Mayer or whatever that guy in the Heat is, right? That fucker, huh? Unbelievable. Let's go. I mean,
Mayers Johnson, I'm pretty sure is what you called him last night.
Mayer's Jubilee, whatever. That fucking disgusting piece of shit who said a 4-letter word that we associate value with. What a piece of shit that guy is, huh? Anyways, I didn't say anything like that in this episode. So I share this with your friends. This might be one of the better AQTs. Well, this is the morning after because it's the morning after last night. But the AQTs with Mitchy Steezes, and pretty good episode. I think those are my closing comments, Mitchy.
All right, thanks so much, man.
You want to say any other words?
Yeah, I did have a couple other thoughts. So basically, look at this guy. He called my bluff. I had nothing else left to say.
Anyways, let's separate on good terms here, Mitchy. Let's end the recording on 3, 2, 1.
Didn't end it. Absolutely did not end it. There's 0 chance. I'm going to miss